Well, I'm very happy to bring you the international update at the beginning of a new year. This is the international update for January 2008. And a big thank you to those of you who've prayed faithfully for us throughout 2007. Looking back, it was a brilliant year for us of ever-increasing opportunities around the world. But it was also an immensely challenging year of increasing opposition in parts of the world and increasing complication. And I earnestly believe that your prayers make the difference. So thank you so much for standing with us, and our plea is that you'll continue to support us, because we desperately need the support of your intercession for our ministry as we move into 2008. Our team in Greater Europe, based in Vienna, has been resourcing the church in Eastern Europe for many decades. And even with the increased freedom in these lands today, there are huge challenges and still great need for resourcing. We've just printed our first two Georgian books, The Da Vinci Code, The Quest for Answers by Josh McDowell, and the Dory comic came off the press on the 15th of December. Now, the whole evangelical library in the country of Georgia consists of about 100 titles, and about 70% of them are study manuals or commentaries for pastors. So every additional book you can imagine is a huge asset and a huge blessing for the believers there. That's just one example of the ways we seek to resource the church around the world. 2 months ago, a young man joined our team with a desire to work with sports ministry. With several volunteers, he started a basketball club for 20 teens. They meet every week to have fellowship and talk, of course, about the more important things in life. A local school gave access to their sports facility in return for practically redoing the tiles in the locker rooms in the gym there. A local church agreed to give 50% of the cost, and most of the volunteers doing that work came from the local church. Now, Dima, the guy who's doing this sports ministry, would love to be able to throw himself into this full time, but of course he's struggling to raise support in a country such as that and has to continue working. Will you please pray for this new initiative and pray that God will provide for this young man if it is God's will for him to move full time into this ministry. Moving on to Bosnia-Herzegovina. For some time, the team in Sarajevo has prayed for a place to house a reading room and distribute literature. Well, we've had the grand opening during December, and people from shops around came, brought their own clients with them to read good books, and had some great discussions with team members. Some of the books there we give away free, others we make available for a small donation. The books are English mainly, but a few other languages as well. We have English and Portuguese classes, and they'll start later in this month of January. We want you to pray that this room in Sarajevo, a city that's known such pain over the years, we want you to pray that this reading room will become a place of refuge for many people where they can find peace with God. The International Food Policy Research Institute has released recent findings on global hunger for 2007. Every day, 1 out of 7 people go to bed hungry worldwide. 1 child out of 2 goes hungry in India, a country known internationally, of course, for its growing economy. It's rated at number 94, India, amongst 118 countries on the global hunger index. It's below neighbouring countries such as Pakistan, Nepal and Sri Lanka. So as we hear about the booming economy in India, don't forget that the effects of that are not touching the people of India consistently. There's still an incredible poverty and hunger issue in this country. In Thailand, recent unrest in neighbouring countries has resulted in extra Asia Challenge teams, enabling one team to go into bars and streets frequented by commercial sex workers on a regular basis, and they've been able to go in and talk there with the girls. The girls are often simple farm girls in search of funds to help their families. They fall into prostitution as the only way of getting sufficient money to send back home to their families. One girl in particular has been really touched by a team member's care and concern and asked for a Bible in the Thai language. Our associate organisation IBS-STL had the great privilege just a couple of months ago of introducing a brand new Bible translation to the people of Thailand. And that was a great moment for that country. Let me close by talking about people. Dick and Helen Griffin are two of the longest serving OM couples in the whole of the movement. They pioneered and led OM in Mexico for decades. They've now passed that on some time ago to a younger generation, and recently they relocated to the USA, but not to go into retirement. They want to be and have been appointed our regional prayer coordinators. Thank God for people like these. And thank God for Alice Mann. She went to be with the Lord on the 28th of October. Along with her husband John, they served with OM, and they were instrumental in the work of OM Australia in the very early years. To the end, Alice loved OM, was interested always to hear of how God was working. She was one of our most faithful prayer warriors. Thank God for her, but what a challenge to see people like that replaced by others who'll join us in prayer. Thank you for your faithful support in prayer over the years. I hope this will stimulate effective intercession throughout the month of January. Thank you.